so we're about to start putting fertiliser out for a second cut, but I have a problem with this spreader, and it was shown in the last video, a video or two back, where the opening and closing shutters just aren't working right, and they keep jamming, and I'm not just 100% sure what's causing it. But a viewer, or a couple of viewers actually said, a common issue in these is actually these guys here. So there's a ball in these rods here, and just kind of like the rams you'd have in a back window there of a boot of a car, window of a tractor, similar thing. And these here can rust inside, and that can leave it that they're not just moving as easy as they should, and that can actually cause this to happen. Seemingly it's quite a common issue with these. I did actually notice that this one here on this side has been replaced with a plastic one. Remember, I bought this when it was about 9 months old or so, I think. It was the next demo. And it's interesting to see that it already has a plastic one fitted to it. Very, very soon for something like that to have been done to it. I certainly didn't do it. But today we're going to take these guys off real quickly here and have a look and see what they're like. All going to turn, yeah. Oh yeah, it's always going to be interesting. If I can take the pressure of them, it should pop off. These guys down a wee bit. Yeah, that might work. It should pop up. There it is. I'm going to start up the tractor. I'm going to see, do these open and close any freer now that them rods are disconnected. Right, so I can tell you straight off the bat, I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera or not, but they work perfectly now. This is our problem. This one's moving nice and freely, see that? What's this one like? Yeah, completely free. But look up here, that is solid. That's our problem right there. This one here is a wee bit freer back and forth, but it won't move up and down. It should, yeah. That's the problem, right there. Good news is that that's a fairly easy fix. But can I get in there now with an impact and get that out? That's the thing. Just when I'm in here, I noticed another thing that's missing. So if you look here, you'll see this mechanism here that's moving down. My finger is. See the little wheel there that runs up and down? It'll fall off now and then you'll see it. There it goes. That little wheel should fit on here. And it's missing from this side completely. It's not the end of the world, but there's a little place for a clip to hold that onto place, and obviously the clip is broken or rusted or fallen off. So I'll order a little piece, or I might actually make one. But it's not going to stop us fixing this today. It's only a minor thing. But it's easy fix, so we will fix that later on. So I watch a channel on YouTube called Diesel Creek. One thing I did see he was using a lot was a set of these swivel sockets for impact gun. That's why Sinead hates me watching them, because I'll see something I like and then I'll want it. But I got myself a much cheaper set of swivel sockets, and I got these extenders with a swivel on them as well. And I have to say, I proved Sinead wrong. I actually do use them a lot. So we just put this up here. Now Sinead, look at that. Well, that one was loose. Here's the first one we took off. Both of them are pretty much the same, I think. So one thing I want to make sure is when we undo these and fit our new ones, I want to make sure these rods are the same length. I don't want to change anything in the adjustments or have to start calibrating stuff. So I want to kind of make sure that we get it all kind of right. As you can see, this one here, it's not completely free, but it is turning. But this one here isn't. Now that's solid. Alright, but I think my camera wasn't recording. I'm not sure if it has or not. But we had to add some heat to this to get it to loosen off. There it is. Ow, ow, ow. And just a wee bit of never ever 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 sees. And this should be our replacements. So stainless steel ball, plastic fitting. So it's never going to rust. Alright, so next thing we need to do is put this ball in here. I'm not sure what the correct procedure is doing this, but I know one that will work. There we are. Oh. Okay, well that one's loose. Once again, I'm just going down the bench to double check everything here. Make sure that we're alright lengthwise. Right, so I just took that bottom leg back off again because I forgot this little problem here, because I have one little wheel forward here, and all that's happened is a little sword clip has obviously come off here and let that fall off. So this little wheel here was up there, and now I have to go and find a clip that'll fit that. Now I know I have them. The thing is, can I find them? What's them? Yes, that's them. Not exactly what I was looking for, but they will work. Alright, well, that's that job done. Nice little rainy day job, and that's fixed now. So if you look up under here, you can see that wheel there that I'm pointing at. So when that side goes up and down, that wheel just rolls up and down. A bit hard for me to push it now because it's under a bit of tension, but that keeps that out and allows it to move smoothly. So you can see the simplicity of it all. These are just big stoppers, and wherever you set these, it only allows these guys to open a certain amount and not able to go past that. That's it fixed. It's working now as it should. It's open and closing lovely and freely, and I wouldn't have figured that out only for you guys that watch, because a good few people, when I made the video about it not open and closing, mentioned these to do these rods, and they were 100% right. So big thanks for that, and hopefully maybe if you've got a spreader like this or something similar, you might know now yourself how to go out and fix it quite cheaply, because them little plastic things are fairly cheap. I think they're at €6 or something like that. So it's not the end of the world versus having to replace a RAM or something worse, or having to dismantle the whole thing in half a day into a scratch in your head. That was a nice easy fix. Alright, now today we are just coming back here. It's just gone 10:30. I'm coming from my local co-op where I'm picking up the fertiliser here for a second cut. I normally get it delivered. I just kind of left it a bit too late this time, and I just said, you know what, I'll just run up and get it. Lucky enough, our co-op is only about 3 miles away. It sounds a short distance, and it doesn't take long on this tractor at all, but this is the main road. Fly on it. It's all great until you enter this road. And then, yeah, quite a slow thing, but I don't mind. I have all day, I've put this day aside to do this job and tick it off the list. That's one thing I always say, and thing I've learned over the years. You can pressurise yourself with so many jobs that's ahead of you, and you just give yourself fog brain, because I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, and I'm a tar for doing that. But if you focus on one job and just finish that job before you even think of the next one, although it might be urgent and needs to be done at the same time, you can't do two things at the same time, so just take your time, and that's what I'm doing. Today, fertiliser day. Tomorrow, we'll tackle the next job. That's the way I try to look at things. It doesn't always work, but it does help you a little. But one thing I am thinking about is that sky. Was a lot of dark clouds hanging behind me here, and I hope it doesn't rain, because I have got no cover for this sower, and I don't want it to rain into it on top of the fertiliser, because then it sticks to the sides of it, and well, you know what happens. Anyhow, let's get to the field. That's why it's good to have good thick trees in your farm, because now I'm just reversing the spreader underneath this tree here, and I'm just waiting for that shower to pass. It's what we call just an old skiff. It's not very heavy, but it's enough to wet the top of that fertiliser, and that'll leave problems for me with the next load that's got in, because it'll cake in the bottom of it and the next stuff mightn't just come out as quick. So I'm just going to wait for 5 minutes and hopefully this will pass. So you can see these two cars closest to you here. These are the two that got out, with the 4 that got out later on. And they're the only ones now that have a little bit, I don't know if it's ringworm or what it is, around their face. The rest of them are all better now, that had it, little dots here and there. I also forgot to bring over the big bucket, hence the reason I had to do several runs with the small one. Right, I'll leave them be, they seem all fine. Oh, and let's get back to what we're at. Alright, so I'm full throttle here, going back from the co-op with another ton of fertiliser on the back. It's been a frustrating sort of a day so far. It's gone 2:30, we're well on, but there's very heavy showers and they're getting more and more frequent. I didn't think it was giving rain today. Even a neighbour here, he's at the exact same that I'm at. But we have a lot of issues with actually getting the fertiliser into the spreader. Some of the fertiliser is starting to go hard in bags, so we have to kind of give it a bit of a battering to get it out. Particular brands of fertiliser now, and I noticed this the year when we were using the stuff that we got delivered. The inside liner of the half-ton bags comes out with the fertiliser. And it's actually damaged in the spreader. It's damaged again now for the second time this year, with the whole thing just going out in one big lump rather than coming out slowly. So I'll have to see what them cage pans are like when I get home. I'm feeling I've bent the two of them now in bits. But whatever it is about them half-ton bags and a certain brand, the inner lining just wants to come out with the fertiliser. Now I know what some of you might say, Adrian, why on earth wouldn't you put a cover on your fertiliser spreader? Well, the fold-up cover for an Amazon spreader like this is very, very expensive. This was, remember, was a demo machine, didn't come with one on it. So I looked then about using a plastic cover. I did buy plastic covers in the past, tie them on with baler twine around it, bungee straps. But you see, the issue is I need to fit the sea into it at times, and I need to fit to get into it at times and level the stuff across. And having to open and tie that cord each time, and then just makes the thing a lot more difficult. So I'll make a few inquiries to see can I get a tarp made. Something sort of like a bed liner. You know what you put over a mattress that's already elasticated? I can just pull it over it, take it off it, without any messing with cords, tying knots, and hoping it doesn't blow away on the main road. Anyways, we're back in the field. Start off our green lane again. Alright, so we're just after washing that. You can see that's the hit that it took. Now this side was bent a bit, but not just as bad as that. But you can see that this side now is all pushed down. Alright, well you can see she's a bit crooked. Not bad. So that's just bent straight back. That's the problem though, is lost its strength. So to fix that, I'm not doing it today, but what I will do is I'll weld another piece of angle iron the whole length of this here and the inside of it, and that will fix that. For the few minutes it took to do it, okay, it took a few more minutes than a few minutes. Not perfect, but it doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to get bent again. I can guarantee you that. I am going to fix up this spreader. Just get this whole thing here sandblasted, this inside piece, get it all painted and get everything that's rusted treated and painted. Probably just have to cut out that piece of angle iron there on the far side, put a new piece in, put an extra couple of struts running up across here to give it an extra wee bit of strength. Not a big job, won't take very long to do, but I think all in all that's much better. One thing that's never really bothered to use is these guys here. It's supposed to catch when you open this, and I've often been out in the field climbing into this yoke trying to move fertiliser across, and it could slap down on top of you and take the head of you if you weren't careful. So I just want to adjust them to the right. So I'm just going to turn them round here, tighten them up. They are working. Now, there it is. That's the way it's supposed to work. Yeah, I'm happy. Jonathan's here now, he's just starting to plough. So it's now gone 6 days since this was ploughed. It's got a lovely white top on it. It's nice and dry, but we've had a lot of rain. Nearly rain every day since it was ploughed. I'm not in a rush to put it in. My intention was to leave this sitting for 10 days to 2 weeks anyway, to let the grass underneath, because we didn't spray it off, die away. People might ask, why didn't we spray it off? Very easy answers. We're under that restriction of having to have this ploughed for the 31st of May, just with derogation and stuff, so we needed to get this done, and we couldn't do it any earlier because we were in a drought and grass wasn't plentiful, and I couldn't do it out this field, so that's the reason I didn't get time to spray it. Am I worried about that? No. My man that was doing the ploughing, and I have to agree with him, said that he's been out to more farms, he's doing this all the time, and he has lads that have sprayed stuff off versus people that haven't, just like me here, and the difference is very minimal, if anything at all. He sees people get out spraying weeds in both scenarios a year later anyway, so I don't know, I'm not in this game, I'm just going by what people do say, but we've often done it this way and the other way in the past and haven't seen a huge difference. So I'm planning to do this in the next week, get it in. If I got 1 day, dry day, I'd have the whole thing in easy enough. I hope to put it in myself, and then I'll sew it with my own air seeder. It's funny, when you go to do a job like this, you go looking at YouTube and how other people do things. Amazing the amount of different ways people reseed. Some people use power harrows, some people use disc harrows, some people use real fancy gear for sowing the seed, some people do it a wagtail sower, some people will do it with the old grass barrow, which is nothing wrong in any way as long as the grass gets to the ground. But one channel I discovered, it's only a relatively new channel, Dara Walton, very good channel to go and follow. I'm not sure exactly where in Ireland he is, but I watched the reseeding video that he done and thought it really interesting. He was making putting an axle on a calf feeder as well. Good welder and has some good ideas, and yeah, good channel to go and check out. There's a lot of new channels out there, but Tobin Farms is another one I came across. A dairy farmer, seems to do everything really well and has good ideas. Shares a lot of information on his channel as well. It's a good one also to go and check out. But if you know of any small new channels, just ones that are only starting out, sometimes it's nice for them channels just get a bit of a kick and a bit of a shove so that YouTube will push them forward a little bit more, because it can be quite disheartening for them starting off. So if you know any channels, you're welcome to comment them down in mine. People will see that and maybe go and give them a follow. But anyway, I'm heading home here. Hopefully the next time you see us, we might have something done in this field, but we have plenty of other stuff to do anyway, so we'll see how it goes. Catch you in the next one.